Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Friday Night Stamp Therapy. I'm so happy you are joining me for this very special episode. Today I'm revealing the December bonus project kit that you can earn for free when you order $40 or more in my online store. This is something I do every single month. If you would like to earn this month's kit, make sure to order by December 31st and use the December host code BTM4UBXX. I feature a different suite every single month, and this month I am featuring the Marbled Elegance Suite and Hearts of Elegant Bundle. You're going to find this in the online exclusive section of the store, and it is very appropriately themed for Valentine's Day. We are a few days past Christmas, but just into that Christmas spirit season soon. I was just saying in a car, my husband's got Sirius XM radio, and they already turned off the holiday stations. I'm surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I'm still enjoying Christmas music. I'm still enjoying Christmas, but I'm ready to start crafting for Valentine's Day. How about you? Let me know what you think about the Marbled Elegance Suite. It includes this gorgeous designer paper, which I'm including in the December project kit. You're going to get 4x6 pieces of this specialty paper with the gold foil accents. Now, these papers were designed by Stampin' Up concept artists who did a paint pour with different shades of pink and red to create these amazing backgrounds that were then turned into designer paper. Now, the original designer paper is 12x12, and then they added the gold swirl to that sort of marbled paper. They added that digitally. I think that's just so cool. On the back side of these designer papers are some more monochromatic patterns that are really terrific B-sides with some hearts and stripes and patterns that you can use for all different occasions, some splatter. So if you find the other side to be a little too bold, a little too bright, then you might enjoy these other sides a little bit more. And I do have to tell you that there is an amazing Valentine paper that is kind of similar that's in the last chance clearance section right now in the online store. It's only $3.30. It has some similar designs with the marbling, not quite exactly like these, but there are some marbled patterns. There is some gold foil. Honestly, I like the other paper even better. So $3.30 will get you a package of that. I think it's actually from Celebration a year or so ago. So make sure to check that on the last chance list. Your card kit for December is going to include the Marbled Elegance paper as well as some of the heart-shaped gold sequins. These are so fun. I love that they're flat, very shiny, and go really well with the designer paper. We've got pre-cut card kits, and one of my favorite things about the card kits are the back pocket card layouts. And so there is one included in this month's kit, and we were just talking about the pouches. I still do have some pouches, the 2024 collection of back pocket card layouts. If you missed the kits all year long, you can get all of the card layouts for 2024. There's 12 of them with a spread kindness pouch, and we're putting this together as a fundraiser for my daughter's college tuition fund. So if you would love to support us, we've got just a few left. Go to tinyurl.com/2024 back pocket cards. And I know that I promised you guys some information about my Million Sales Achiever stamp set class, and I don't quite have it ready, but check this weekend. I'm going to post on my blog at juliedavison.com, and I'll have all the details about the class this weekend. I can tell you it'll include a signed stamp set. It will include a card kit with 4 cards using that stamp set. It will include 4 exclusive back pocket card layouts that will only be available as part of this class kit. I will have a class kit separate from the whole package, so you can get a whole thing or you can just get the class kit with the cards. So there'll be lots of different options. I'm also working on a special custom bag because you know I love to do those. And some of that money from the bag is going to be donated to a charity. So I'm working out all those details. I'm going to have an option to add on additional bags, like if you want to get one for a friend. And so the price for the bag will include a little bit. That's where the donation is going to come in. So I'm really excited. There's just so many little details to work out, pricing and timing and all of that. And then I've got to put together the sign up page. So it's coming, I promise. Check this weekend on the blog and I'll have some things posted, at least some initial details. Welcome to all of you who are here tonight. It sounds like we've got some new watchers. Gail, welcome. So happy that you're here. Yeah, Nancy agrees with me on that celebration paper. Yeah, I do like it better. So make sure to check that out. Diane got her card kit collection today, the back pocket card layouts. I'm so happy. Debbie's asking, will there ever, will it be videos? I think you mean for the, I think you mean for the card class. And yes, there will be a video for the card class featuring my stamp set. So that will be available for everyone. There'll be, like I said, a card kit, a special whole package. I'm working on lots of fun little details. So there's going to be a way for everyone to participate who wants to. And I'm really excited about sharing my stamp set with everybody. Okay, so tonight we're making Valentine cards. This is the December bonus project kit. I've got some extra samples to share with you. I'm going to share those along the way, and we're going to make the 3 cards. So again, this is the December bonus project kit. Now, if you don't, so the way to get it for free is to order $40 or more in my online store, and then I make extra kits available the next month. So right now, I just added last month's kit, which was the Nests of Winter. I just added that kit to my past kits page. So if you love this one, I've got a few of those available. And if you don't earn this kit for free, then you'll be able to buy the Hearts of Elegance kit next month. So every month there's a new kit, and then I put the previous month kit available for sale in the limited number that I have. So you can check out those past kits at juliedavison.com/kits. And just another side note, one of the perks of being on my team is that you get to subscribe to get these kits every month, like automatically, for a ridiculous price of $5 a month. So if you are thinking about being a demonstrator, there's an awesome special coming up in January for celebration. It's a great time to join. And one of the best ways to get the kits every month is just to be a team member and to subscribe and get them every single month automatically. Yay! Oh, Jody, I'm looking forward to meeting you too. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're here and joining us today. And Debbie just put together the Nest of Winter kit. I think I need to get that PDF up with the instructions. So, and I have an alternative sample. It's not near me. I ended up switching out this card and did one with green designer paper down here, green stripes, and I really like the way that turned out. So I will get that PDF posted. I know, right? Who said, Nancy said, it's okay if you sleep. I just feel like I'm going. Today I was working on, well, the girls were helping me work on the catalogs, trying to get catalogs out for everybody, and I was designing projects, and there's just always, like, the day goes so fast, and here we are. I know, Penny, they're already putting up Valentine stuff, but it's about time for that, right? If you think about Valentine's Day is only like 6 weeks away, and that's not a lot of time, especially for crafting. So let's jump into this Valentine crafting with Hearts of Elegance. Now, this is an online exclusive, and you can get it right now. I know I've been sharing a lot of sneak peeks lately, but this is something that is available right now for you to get. The Marbled Elegance Designer Paper, 12 by 12, the Hearts of Elegant Bundle. I gotta show you all these amazing heart dies. Then we have the adhesive back sequins. There's some gift bags if you like to make up little treats for Valentine's Day. The gold twisted thread is currently unavailable, but it will be back soon. So, so don't fret if you're looking for that gold twine or gold thread. It really is quite lovely, and I think it probably sold out because people were using it for Christmas. I think it's great for year round. Gold is such a versatile metallic, and these awesome heart sequins are great too. So let's jump in. Hearts of Elegance. We're going to start with that back pocket card layout, and spoiler alert, you've actually seen this card already. I did it for another video, and I just loved this layout so much I wanted to include it in the back pocket card layout. So here is the card layout, and as always, the back pocket card layout includes measurements, and on the back side, 2 full color samples of cards using the same layout. Now, this is one of my favorite cards, and I don't know where it escaped to, but you've got a picture when you get your card, so you'll be all set. All the things that you need to create your card are included in the kit. So we're using Pretty in Pink for our card base. We've got a white piece to go inside. Then I have a embossed piece, and for 2 of the cards today I'm using the So Swirly embossing folder. This is one that you'll find in the annual catalog, and I thought it just really went well with the designer paper because it has that swirl and that marble kind of feel to it. So we've got a piece here that is embossed with white cardstock, and then some other pieces of cardstock. We've got a 1 by 4 inch piece of the gold foil. I have die cut some hearts for you, and they're really beautiful. The heart dies in this die set includes some details. So we've got the stitch detail on the larger heart and a little stitch detail around the smaller one. Now, not all of the dies in this die set have that stitch detail, just some of them do. So this one includes a lot of different sizes of the hearts. So there's also a really big one with a stitched border. And then there's also dies that will die cut the flower and the leaves from the coordinating stamp set. So you can see those images there. And then one of the dies also fits that, that heart stamp. Oh, Katie says she needs to sign up for the kits again. Oh, you've only taken a couple month break. I know you need to catch up. Like, that is such a hard thing sometimes, having kits pile up. And so you've really got to make an effort, I think, when you're getting kits regularly to make sure that you're doing them. How many of you are up on your paper pumpkin kits? That's one I get so guilty about. Sometimes I do it right away when it comes, and sometimes I don't, and it just sits and then it piles up. And it's a New Year's resolution to catch up on kits and do them. All right, we need to cut a piece of designer paper for our first card, and the pattern we are going to use is this one here that has the melon mambo design with the flowers. And so we're gonna do the other side of it though, this one. And I picked this one because it has kind of some lighter pink in there. Now the colors officially in this paper include Real Red, Melon Mambo, there's some Flirty Flamingo in there, some Cherry Cobbler, that dark red. I think there's a bit of Petal Pink. I brought in Pretty in Pink, which technically isn't in the paper, but I think that it goes really well with the designer paper, and especially with the Melon Mambo. So that was just sort of a color that I brought in. Jessica's asking, what do I do with my cards after I make them? Is there a favorite way to organize and display them? Now, are you talking about like the cards, like these cards that I make, or do you mean the back pocket card layouts? I love to keep the back pocket card layouts on a ring, and I just keep these near my desk, and it's so handy to flip through and find a card design that I can just plug in some new stamps and new paper in. And that's what I love about the black and white designs, is it sort of like frees my mind. Sometimes I look at the catalog for inspiration, which I'll show you that for our third card. Second card, third card. Third card. Sometimes though, having the black and white card layout just helps me to like think outside of the colors that I see in the catalog sample. All right, we're we're going to cut this designer paper, and this is going to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I'm going to cut 3 1/4 first, and then turn and cut at 3 1/2. So I'll have a little bit here. You can save that for a card or throw it out or whatever. Do you guys save scraps this small? This is about maybe 1/2 inch by 3 inches, 3 1/4. How small do you keep scraps? That's a good question for you today. We're also going to save that piece for later on. So I'm gonna use this piece for the card. Jessica's asking, what do I do with the cards after I finish them? And I keep a lot of cards for display samples, and by display I mostly do videos. I don't do a lot in person, but I'll share card ideas with you. So these are some swap cards, some that I've made myself. And then after I'm done displaying them or sharing them in my videos, I send them. I send them to customers who order from me. And so sometimes when you place an order with me, you don't get a thank you card. Sometimes you get a birthday card or a Valentine card. And so I send a lot of cards every month as thank yous to people who order. I send cards to my team members with prizes. I send a lot of cards. So I don't really have a stash. I don't have a very big stash. There are some cards I really should make more of to have a stash on hand, but I don't necessarily. Well, this card, we're not going to do a lot of stamping because we've got these die cut images. They're going to kind of take care of the image part for us, but I do want to stamp a sentiment and something on the inside too. So let me grab some stamps here. Now this stamp set does have some Valentine kind of stamps, like Happy Valentine's Day and Be Mine, but I think also there's a lot of stamps in here that you could use just to send a thinking of you card, like sending lots of love. That's a thinking of you kind of sentiment. Love you, my heart belongs to you. Those are going to work perfectly for anniversaries, right? Or any kind of just sending love. It doesn't have to be just for Valentine's Day. So I hope that you will find that these card designs are versatile enough. And if you don't like Valentine's and you don't like the theme of this, I hope these ideas will inspire you to use the designer paper and the stamps that you have at home to create similar cards. This layout especially, I think, is just really lovely. So let me grab my Be Mine stamp, and we're gonna do a black greeting on this, and then I want to add some stamping on the inside too. So I'm gonna grab out, let's see, the heart stamp. We're gonna do that in Pretty in Pink, and probably Happy Valentine's Day to go inside. I think that will be just right. So let's do this. Oh, I'm so glad you're excited about this kit. I am too. You know, sometimes I'm making cards and I don't know, like I just don't necessarily love the way they turn out. But this is one I'm really, I'm really excited about these cards. I think they turned out really lovely. All right, I'm gonna do Happy Valentine's Day for the inside. And then we're gonna do a little pink, Pretty in Pink heart. My Pretty in Pink is so juicy. Oh, is that too dark? We could always stamp off. That's where you stamp and then you stamp again. I don't know how well you can see, but there's like, because I stamped the black first, the pink picked up some of the black lettering. Do you see that? It's very subtle. But if you wanted to stamp off to make it lighter, then that, I think that looks better. We'll use that one. And when I stamp over it, you can't even tell where the extra words were. All right, so let's glue things together. We'll start with our inside piece. Oh, I love all your ideas for sharing cards. Katie, you can still sign up for December. Yeah. Just send me a message and we'll work it out. I can send an invoice for the kits. Oh, I'm just reading your comments. Gail's talking about making cards for the cancer care bags. That's awesome. There is such power. We talk about this a lot. There's such power in sending and sharing cards. And so there are so many different people who could use some cheering up. And I think wherever you decide to share your cards, whether it's a cancer center, the hospital, or nursing home, teachers, or just sending to friends and relatives, I think it's such an important thing to do. So I hope that you'll make that a goal this year to send more cards. Okay, I was talking about other things instead of talking about what I'm doing with the card. I started with the embossed piece, and I'm going about a half inch or so, 3/8 of an inch from the side, kind of evenly spacing it around the top and the bottom. And then the designer paper, I did 3 1/4 by 3 1/2. And so I put it all the way to the edge, the other edge of the cardstock. And now I'm going to bring up the gold piece, and I'm going to butt it up to the opposite end. So it almost goes across, but not quite. So we're going to add that just with some regular adhesive. I think just because it's such a great versatile sentiment, thinking of you too, right? Because that can just work for any occasion. I had scissors. Where did I put them? Oh, they're hiding. There we go. I decided to go a little bit more from the edge, just such a little bit. I'm just going to trim that little bit. Okay. Our card is coming together. We're going to add our die cut hearts here with some Stampin' Dimensionals. These are my favorites. Oh, I love that. Cards for the postal workers. I have a P.O. box for the Great Big Card Swap, and so sometimes I leave a little hand-stamped treat in my P.O. box for the P.O. box. Sometimes when I've tried to give things to them, like at the counter, they always tell me, oh, we're not supposed to accept gifts or whatever. So I leave it in the box, and then I feel like they don't have a choice. All right, I'm gonna scoot that down just a smidge. And then the Be Mine is going to kind of tuck under the heart a little bit. I hate that I'm covering up that pink heart so much, but you still can see some of the detail that's coming through. Love it. We are going to add a little twine bow. I'm using some white twine from the Essentials Baker's Twine package. Now this includes white, vanilla, black, like a gray granite and crumb cake. Now there is a little bit more white than the other colors, but when I include Baker's Twine in your kits, I need so much more than what comes in those little rolls. So I do purchase twine in bulk so that I can provide them in the kits for you, because I think this bow just adds such a cute little touch, don't you think? I'm going to add this on with a glue dot, and then our card is almost done, but we gotta add something. We gotta add some bling, and so we're gonna get out our hearts. Now you do have some that is included in the kit here, but I'm going to keep that one intact and use from my own stash to decorate today's cards. So there are 3 sizes of these sequin hearts. There's large, and then there's medium, and there's small. And so I'm going to use a large and a small in the upper left corner. And then I'm going to bring a medium in kind of over here. Sort of as a cluster. We've got 2, and then we've got like a cluster of 3. So there's our first card. I love this layout. Whether you're using it for Valentine's Day or something else, I hope that you like this layout and feel so inspired. Do you guys recognize this? Do you remember? Do you remember we did this layout? I think it was a stamp along video that we did back in early November. But maybe you don't remember, so hopefully it feels fresh and new. Let's move on. Actually, before we move on and make another card, let's look at a couple samples to inspire us. Here's another one. I did this one. I'm going to open it off the plastic. I did this one as a mystery stamping with my team. Look how lovely that stitched heart is with the gold foil. Isn't that great? And this actually was a card layout, back pocket card layout that we did. Let me scroll back here. It was recently. Here it is. So this one was a vertical version of this card layout that we did with the reindeer. Do you guys remember that? And then I also had the otter. So this is like that same layout, just turned vertically with the Valentine. You know I love my card layouts. Oh, I'm just reading Debbie's comment. That is so sweet. I love it. I gotta scroll back up to get all of it. So Debbie says she sent a friend a sympathy card with the greeting. Perhaps there aren't stars in the sky, but openings where our loved ones can look down on us. Oh, she says a few days later he saw a shooting star and called to tell him how much the card meant to him. I love that. I love that so much. Here is another card that I created. This one back in October. I think it was a sneak peek that I shared with you. And I made this one for my husband for our anniversary. It says, "My heart belongs to you." And then on the inside, "Love you." This marbled paper is just so elegant and so pretty. I think it makes lovely, lovely cards. So let's move on and make another card. Our next card, now I'm trying to remember. Are we, hold on. Yes, okay, let's do the white card first. I try to put them in an order. I don't know why it matters, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to do the fun fold next. For this one, I am using some white thick cardstock. Now, whenever you're using a card base with white, I definitely recommend that you use the thick white cardstock. That's a little bit heavier than the regular basic white cardstock. And this is similar to the same thickness as like the colored cardstock that we usually use for card bases. Now, this one's a little bit different than other cards. I had a post-it note and I don't know where it went to. Is it right? No, that's not it. Oh, I'll just tell you. This card is 5.5 inches by 7 3/4 inches. I scored it at 2.5 inches and 6 3/4 inches. This is an off-center gatefold card that is actually going to be just a little bit short of a regular card. So I'm going to use the bone folder to fold over. We've got a larger piece on the left and a smaller piece on the right. Okay, so we have a gatefold with a gap. And then another piece of cardstock. This is Melon Mambo, and I use that So Swirly again. This one is 4 inches by 5.5 inches. And this is going to attach to, it's going to attach to the inside of this so that this becomes one piece. And when the card is closed, you'll see that pink embossed cardstock coming through the middle. This card was inspired by a card I received from Meg Loven, and she actually did something a little bit different. She used designer paper here and like folded it over and had like a fun little pocket, but I just wanted to use embossed cardstock, so that's what we're doing here. Now we do need to cut for the very front of our card, and so let's grab some of our designer paper here from the kit. I'm trying to remember which one that I used. that one we need for the last card. I'm gonna peek at my card and see. It looks like I used this one, but you know, you could use any of them that have the melon mambo. Oh, I kind of love this. Okay, this has got some red in it. Oh, I can't use this one because I need it. That's what I was saying. The last card, I have this pattern. I need the melon mambo pattern on that. That's too bad because I really like that one. Okay, let's see. Well, we'll use this one. So I'm going to cut 2 pieces. And the first cut I'm going to make is 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut the whole piece at 5 1/4, like this. And then I'm going to cut from whichever end you want. This one's got more pink, so I want a lot of the pink showing, whereas this one's got just a lot of white space. So I'm going to cut 2 1/4, the first cut, and then from I'm going to keep cutting from the same bit, and I'm going to cut at 3/4 of an inch. And so we want our pieces to kind of connect in their pattern. I guess if you didn't want it to, or you didn't care, you could cut a different piece of it, but I want them to kind of connect. So we've got 2 1/4 and then 3/4, and each one of those are 5 1/4. Looks like there was a question about the cardstock in the kit, right? So everything that I'm showing you is how your kit will come. So I'm making it just as if I were you getting the kit at home. So the cardstock will come embossed. You will get die cut hearts, and you will have to cut your own designer paper as I'm doing. So as I'm stepping through the projects, this is going to be just like your experience at home. You'll need to provide your own stamps and ink, and sometimes you might not have the same stamps, and so you can just substitute and use whatever stamps you have at home. And I try to keep that in mind, like when I'm designing the cards. For example, this one, the images were included right there with the die cuts, and so all you need to do is add a sentiment. So if you don't have the Be Mine sentiment, you can easily add something else that you have at home, whether it be thank you or thinking of you or happy Valentine's Day or whatever. And the black ink also makes it really easy and versatile. And so hopefully you'll feel that as you're making the cards at home, that you'll be able to substitute and kind of make alterations as you need to. So let's glue those pieces down on our card base, and then we are going to do some stamping. And I also, when I design the cards, I try to use all the stamps in a set. And so for this one, we are going to use the flower stamp that is part of this Hearts of Elegant stamp set. Such bright, vibrant colors. I really love this. Let's add some adhesive. I am going really heavy on the adhesive here because I don't want that to come off. And I'm going to add the embossed layer here in the center and then close that flap so that the whole piece becomes attached like that. Okay, so that's our card base. Let's bring in the pad, and we're going to do some stamping on both hearts, and then we're actually going to do some stamping on the inside as well. And so let's get that out. We're going to use the Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to use the flower, the leaf, and we're going to use this one that says, "My heart belongs to you." Let's start with those sentiments. We're going to do that in the black ink, and on the heart, we're going to do Happy Valentine's Day across the top center. And on the inside, we're going to do "My heart belongs to you." Okay, Now for the fun part, we are going to stamp the flower and leaf. And for the leaf, I'm going to use some wild wheat. And I chose wild wheat because I think it can pass for gold. And so it kind of coordinates with the gold foil. Even though it's not gold foil, I think it'll pass well enough. And so it makes an interesting combination. So on our hearts, we're going to do some stamping with the flowers, but then also on the inside as well. I actually already used this earlier and I didn't clean it, so let me clean it really quick. And I've been talking about this trick a lot for trying to minimize the staining on your stamps. One way to do that, to minimize staining, clearly it's not working 100%, is to use Versamark to kind of coat your stamp before stamping in very pigmented reds like Melon Mambo. And so we're gonna ink that up in Melon Mambo, and we are going to stamp the flower on the front. We're gonna do this at the bottom of the heart, and then we're also going to stamp on the small heart, kind of taking up a lot of the space there. We're going to stamp on the inside. We're going to stamp below, above, and down here in the corner. And then we're going to add our wild wheat leaves. Aren't those pretty? A little wild wheat over here for the front. And on our small heart, right there. All right, we made up for all the stamping we didn't do last time with lots of stamping on this card. And we've got all our pieces stamped, and so now we get to put our card together. This little heart is for the corner in here. I just wanted there to be something when you open up the card. And I thought that the cute little heart was just sort of a fun thing kind of in the middle that ties everything together. The large heart is going to go in the center, but we're going to add a gold banner. So this is 1 3/4 inches by 4 inches gold foil. And I'm going to cut a banner tip on one end. Oh, I'm so glad you guys love these cards. That makes me so happy. So I'm going to center the heart onto the banner, and I want to use some Stampin' Dimensionals here, but some of my heart is going to hang over the edge of the banner. So I want to be very careful not to have my adhesive hanging off the banner. So I'm going to keep my Stampin' Dimensionals in the middle. 1 down here by the point and 2 up here by the center of the rounded part of the heart. And center that on the gold banner. And then because this card opens up in a funny place, I have to be careful not to adhere it closed with the banner. So I'm going to use some tear and tape here. And add that to one side of the banner. Nancy commented about wishing that Stampin' Up! Would make photopolymer cleaner again. We did have one for a little while, and it was kind of like a stamp pad, but it was to clean your stamps. And honestly, I don't know that I used it very often, but it did work really, really well, especially to take stains off stamps. All right, here is our card. So fun. What do you think about this card opening? Isn't that great? I kind of love it. We're not done. We got to add some bling to this card. It just needs a little something, doesn't it? We are going to use some of these adhesive backed heart sequins. And for our fans of 3, we're going to do 2 on one top corner of the heart, and then we'll add the medium size down here. Bling that up. I love how that gold just ties right back into the designer paper. What do you think? Does the wild wheat, does that pass for gold? If you wanted to, you could use gold embossing powder instead and really be true to gold and coordinate really well with the designer paper. But I think that the wild wheat is a good poor man's, poor girls, poor stampers gold. I think it's got the same kind of color and tone, and so I think it works well, especially if you are just wanting to stamp quickly and not get all your embossing stuff out. Oh, I love to see all your hearts. I'm so glad you love this one. Susan said the wild wheat reminds her of the watercolor called Green Gold. I think that is a great description of this color. It very much is a green kind of gold color. I think that's pretty accurate. Another color, baby poop, baby poop yellow. Let's look at some more card ideas. I shared those 2 already. Let me put those up here. And I've got a few cards that were, I received as swap cards. So here is one from my mom, Susan LaCroix, and she did a little Z-fold card that came out. Did we feature this in another video? Maybe this was her Sunday stamping stamp along. I think it was. She had a little Z-fold and she layered the gold foil underneath the designer paper and die cut. There's that large stitched heart. She die cut that from the designer paper. Super fun. And then this swap card came from Ruth Bingle, and she has a little card that opens in the middle. I thought that was really clever. So we've got designer paper here on the side, and then some layered hearts die cut with the foil and red and the XOXO. Fun little card. And our last one here is from Sandy Carlson, using some of the designer paper with Melon Mambo. And again, those die cut hearts, like, they're just so pretty. If you don't have any heart dies or punches, this is such a great set, and it's got so many different sizes in it. So of the plain hearts, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that one is so big. And then there are 3 stitched hearts, the large one, the small one, and then the very detailed one. Let me give you a size on this, a size comparison, because this is so big. So it takes up almost a whole card front like that. And that would be fun actually to do like a little card front. Oh my gosh, I should have done that. That's gonna have to be another video. Kind of reminds me of that butterfly, the butterfly card or die. There's a new butterfly die that cuts it from the top of the card so like it folds up. We could do the same thing with the heart, just die cutting it off the edge just a little bit, and then die cutting a full heart to cover the whole front. So we'll do that in another video. We'll play some more with the Hearts of Elegance. But there's our first 2 cards for our December bonus project kit. And our last card is, it's kind of clean and simple, but I really love it. I was inspired, as I often am, I was inspired by the catalog for this one. And this was a layout that Stampin' Up! Actually shared recently in Succeed Weekly, which is a weekly email for demonstrators. And you'll find this layout on page 30 of the September through December mini catalog. The card I was inspired by is right up here in the corner, using the Nests of Winter. And I recently did this layout for my team and challenged them to create a card with the layout. I don't know how well you can see on camera, but the image is are stamped kind of in the background in the same color. It's very subtle, but I think it's just kind of a fun little detail. So I was inspired by this card, and I promise you, you're going to love my version even more. I have some Melon Mambo for the card base, and then a piece of white for the inside. Now my pink for the front, I did go just a little bit smaller. So it's like 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 inch. So it's like just a little smaller than the normal 4 by 5 1/4 that we usually do for the card fronts. And then I also have, what are these pieces for? Oh, yes. For the banner, and then for the greeting, we're going to do like that. So we do need some, we need some designer paper, and I was saving my paper for this one. This would have been really nice on the last card, but I want to use a little bit of this on this card. So, Sharon talking about diaper changing. Okay, this designer paper, we need to be 2 1/4 by 3. And so I am going to start with the 2 1/4 because I want to leave the largest chunk to have to use later. So we got 2 1/4 by 3 inches. And that's it for designer paper on this card. A lot of times I am using and rely heavily on designer paper in my card designs, but this one does not use a lot of designer paper, just a little bit. We're gonna do a lot of stamping, and so we're gonna get out that heart again. So we used the flower on the last card, and we used the heart on the first one on the inside, but we're gonna use it again. And like I said, I've been trying to use a lot of the different sentiments in here as well. So we got the heart for pink. We're going to do, for the front, we're going to do lots of love. Let's see. Nope, it must be behind me. Lots of love. It actually says sending lots of love, and so we're going to get strategic with inking this one because we only wanted to say lots of love. And then for the inside, we'll use the love you for that card. So let's do our stamping. I'm going to get the grid paper back out, and we are going to stamp pink hearts first. Pretty in pink. So on the pink cardstock, why do I feel like this is too long? Nope, that's right. Okay, on the pink cardstock, we're going to stamp pretty in pink hearts, and we're going to stamp them across the front of the card. I'm going to cover this up, so I've got 2 over here and 1 over here. And then we're going to stamp 1 on the banner towards the top. It's not a banner yet, but it will be. And then for the inside, I'm going to do a heart in the center. And we're going to do our words in Memento Black. For the inside, love you. I'm going to overlap just a little bit on the heart, so it's okay that it's full strength. And then for our sending lots of love, we want to use a piece of tape. You can use like Scotch tape. I'm using a little bit of this Post-it tape. You could also use like a little piece of paper or a sticky note. And I'm going to cover up the word sending and ink up the rest of the stamp, which says lots of love. Now you're going to get ink on that sticky part. Make sure you take that off before you stamp, and toss it away so you don't get ink everywhere. And now you've got just the part that you need inked up. And so we're going to add that to the Melon Mambo cardstock. And it would be really lovely if you like to emboss. Try embossing this in gold, your sentiment, instead of doing it in black. I think it would be really pretty in gold on the Melon Mambo cardstock. All right, I think we've got our stamping done. Let's put the card together. We are going to start with our inside. Let's glue that down. And then our front, we're actually going to put this on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to hold off just a little bit and do the front, and then we'll put the thing on. So this is going to go on, first we're going to make a banner, a little cut up the center, then from each end to the top of the center cut. And we're going to glue this down to the designer paper. Kind of lining those tops up. And then the designer paper is going to go toward the top of the Pretty in Pink cardstock. And then we're going to add our sentiments across the banner like that. We're going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals there, as well as under the pink, just to kind of pop that up. This is a very clean and simple card, but I sort of love it. Oh, Gail says her banners never seem to be as even as mine. Practice. But I find that if you go up the center, and if it helps you to measure, get your ruler out and measure, you know, where the center is, and then even measure and put a little dot that's like maybe a ½ an inch from the bottom, and then use that little dot to cut, you know, like from each corner to that dot. And measuring it out will help you to be able to gauge the distance for next time. So the more that you do it, the easier it will be to hit the right spot. And when you do it like that, where you cut from each corner to the center, I find that it is a lot easier to make it even. Whereas if you just try to do one side and then the other, I'm always, you just keep cutting and cutting and cutting, and it's never quite right. Okay, centering that now, and we get a little bit of lift from that, from the Stampin' Dimensionals, which I think just kind of makes that clean and simple card just a little, gives it a little more pop. Okay, we're not done. What do we need to add? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Oh, that's right. Bling. We need to add our bling. We are going to add the hearts and kind of work them in here, just like with the other stamped hearts. And I think here I'm doing 3, but you could easily do like 5 hearts on this one. You just want to keep it to be, keep an odd number, right? We always talk about odd numbers. So either 3 or 5 or 7 or 9. That's a good number. Of course, I have to rearrange mine now that I decided to do 5. All right, what do you think of that clean and simple card? I know, right? Sometimes clean and simple is super beautiful. Here is my inspiration right from the catalog page. And so you can see I've got the banner, I've got the white, I've got the designer paper, I've got the stamped images. And if you're making this card at home and you don't want to do Valentine, hearts, you can use whatever you want. You could use birds to stamp on the background. You can use stars. You can use anything to create. So I hope that this layout, it's not a back pocket card layout, but I hope that it inspires you. Not only the layout, but also casing the catalog and taking ideas that you see and making them your own with whatever you have at home. I have a couple more card samples to show you, but I gotta get a quick vote. And you have to tell me which of the 3 cards is your favorite, or which one do you feel most inspired to copy? Which one of these designs would you go back and do in your stamp room tonight or tomorrow or whenever you plan to go stamp next? So is it the Be Mine 1, the Happy Valentine's Day 2, or the Lots of Love 3 that we did here at the end? Gail says 2. Nancy says the left one. Oh, you guys are going so fast now. Jennifer says 1. Nancy 2. A lot of 2s. 2, 2, 2. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. Susan says they're all so pretty. I'm so glad. No love for 3. I was so worried about this one. I thought maybe it was too simple, but I thought I really liked it, and I think it rounds out the other cards nicely. I always like them to look look good together, and I'm really happy with the way this card collection turned out using the Marbled Elegance. Before I show you those last 2 cards, maybe 3, I just want to remind you that you can get this card kit for free with a $40 order in my online store by December 31st. Use the host code for December BTM4UBXX when you order $40 or more, and you'll get this kit. I'll be working on the kits to send out the first week of January or so. And if you don't get a chance to order, this kit will be made available, any extras that I have, at the end of January, so in another month or so. Nancy's clarifying she loves 3, but she would do number 1 first. I do love this layout too. I love them all. I hope you do too. All right, let's take a look. A few more card samples with the Marbled Elegance. These are cards I received from other stampers. This one from Barb Mulliken using the wood grain embossing folder. I don't know how well that comes through, but really gorgeous. Little soft sea foam to go with the leaves and the flower. And then this card is from Natalie Travis, and she chose a little bit of Bubble Bath, kind of a brighter pink to go with that. I do see some Bubble Bath in that paper paired together, and some Cherry Cobbler, really pretty. And then this last one's from Gina Rico, and she used what color is this? Red Cherry Cobbler, I think, and some Berry Burst, which is interesting with very vanilla. I love her trio of hearts. And then she's also got some embossed lines that she probably did with her paper cutter, just to add a little touch of elegance. So many fun ways to use the Hearts of Elegance, and I am inspired. I can't wait to do some more things with Hearts of Elegance. I hope that you feel inspired by tonight's projects. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future card making videos, including Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie. Mom and I are going to be filming that tomorrow to air on Sunday at noon Central Time, and it's a stamp along. We are using some special release designer paper to do a stamp along. So I'll share the measurements for that if you haven't seen it. I hope that you'll join us and stamp with us live Sunday at noon and 12:30 Central Time, using whatever you have at home. Maybe it'll be Valentine's, maybe it'll be maybe it'll still be New Year's or Christmas cards. Do you still have some of those to make? And so that'll be our last video. No, there'll be one more video on New Year's Eve, our great big card swap. So lots of fun things happening. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.